Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to look at something you see every single day, but in a totally new way. Buildings. We're about to dive into a pretty radical idea that could completely change our cities and, honestly, our planet. So, let's get into it and see how the buildings of tomorrow could be built from the ruins of today.
Seriously, just chew on that for a second. What if, instead of bringing in a wrecking ball, we could just harvest a building for its parts? What if every skyscraper, every office, every home was designed from day one to be a bank of valuable resources for the future? Yeah, it sounds a little like science fiction, but this idea is catching on, and fast.
Now, to really get why this idea is so important, we have to face a pretty tough reality. The way we build our world right now, well, it comes with a massive, and I mean massive, hidden cost.
Get this, 40%. Almost half of all the energy used on the entire planet is gobbled up by the building and construction industry. Every piece of steel, every pane of glass, every truckload of concrete, it all takes a staggering amount of energy to produce and put together.
And it's not just energy. The industry is also the single biggest user of raw materials on Earth. We're talking for 45% of all global resources. We are literally digging up the planet to build our cities. It's just not sustainable. So it all boils down to this one simple, broken model. We take from the Earth, we make a building, and when we're done, we demolish it and create a mountain of waste. It's a one-way ticket from resource to rubbish heap. But what if there's a smarter way? This is where a really powerful concept comes into play. It's called the circular economy, and it's about to flip our whole way of thinking about building on its head.
So what is it exactly? Well, the folks at the Ellen MacArthur Foundation define it as an economy that isn't just less bad for the planet, but one that's actually good for it. The idea is to design things from the very beginning to restore and regenerate, not just use up and throw away.
And when you see the two models side by side, the difference is just night and day. We're moving away from that old take, make, demolish, waste mindset. The new model is all about being smarter, redesigning things for the future, reducing what we need in the first place, reusing every component we can, and recycling what's left. It's all about closing that loop. I absolutely love this analogy because it just clicks, right? Imagine if every beam, window, and wall in a skyscraper could just be unclipped, cataloged, and then used to build something totally new somewhere else. That's the dream. That is a circular building. Okay, so it all sounds amazing in theory, but how do we actually pull it off? How do you build a skyscraper that's meant to be taken apart? Let's get into the nuts and bolts. Literally. It really breaks down into three key things. First up, smart design. This means using super detailed digital models to plan out from day one how the building can be easily disassembled. Second, smart materials. This is so cool. We're talking about creating material passports for every single component. It's like an ingredient list so you know exactly what it's made of and how to recycle it years later. And third, a smart end-of-life plan. So instead of a wrecking ball, you plan for a careful deconstruction team to come in and harvest every valuable part. And the materials we're using? They're getting incredibly smart. We're not just talking about melting down old steel beams. Researchers are doing some wild stuff, like turning ash from sewage treatment into bricks and ceramics, or even using contaminated soil dredged from harbors to build new structures. The innovation is just off the charts. Now, you might be thinking this is just a niche idea for a few forward-thinking architects. But no, this thing is gaining some serious momentum all over the world. The data shows this field isn't just growing, it's exploding. So if you look at the research around 2016, you see the ideas start to bubble up. By 2018, things are really accelerating. And then by 2020, boom, the number of academic papers on this topic is shooting up exponentially. That shows a huge shift in focus for the entire industry. And this is a truly global movement. While you see strong policies in places like the EU pushing this forward, get this. China is the undisputed leader when it comes to the sheer volume of research being published. This isn't just happening in one part of the world. It's a worldwide revolution in how we think about cities.
So where does this all leave us? What does the road ahead look like for our cities? Well, it's definitely full of challenges, but man, the opportunities are just incredible.
Of course, it's not all easy. There are definitely hurdles. We've got to prove that the business models can actually work. We need to keep pushing the science on new materials. And we absolutely need universal standards so that a beam from a building in Berlin can be used in a building in Boston. It's about building the whole ecosystem, the databases, the supply chains, the whole shebang.
But if there is one thing you take away from all this, let it be this idea. We have to stop seeing our cities as just collections of buildings. We need to start seeing them for what they really are, urban mines. Every single structure is a rich deposit of steel, copper, glass, and concrete, just waiting to be tapped into.
So I'll leave you with that thought. For over a century, we've been busy filling our cities with all these valuable materials, locking them up inside our buildings. The question isn't if we can get them back anymore. The question is, when are we going to start? Are we ready to start mining the cities we have today to build the world of tomorrow?